Hello everyone! Welcome to another morning episode of Code with Swizz. Here's what we're gonna build today. Remember that Lovebox Lambda that I built a couple weeks ago? Let me show you where I look really happy with building that. Come on. No. Don't change monitors. Okay, it's here somewhere. Okay, that's confusing. Okay, so I can't find it right now. But basically, I built this little Lovebox Lambda thing that sends pictures to my girlfriend randomly twice a day, and she's loving it, but she's complaining that there aren't enough photos in the rotation, which is true because they are fucking annoying to upload on S3 manually because I have to get them from my phone to my computer and then I have to put them on S3, and that's really annoying. So what I'm gonna build today is, or at least what I'm gonna try to build today, is a Next.js in UI that works on the web that I can use from my phone to upload photos to that S3 bucket. Hi, Igor. So I have some fragments of this built from a workshop that I did 2 years ago in Spain. So I'm hoping to reuse some of that, and we're gonna build a new Next.js interface for it. Let me just, it looks like my computer's laggy today. Let me tweet out the link to this, and then we can get started. Let's see, what's the easiest way to get the link? There we go. Nope, that's not the link. View event, copy link address, and then I'm gonna close this so it stops eating my computer. Paste, and whatever. Okay, so let's see. Oh, I need to make my face smaller. All right, so from the workshop a couple of years ago, I have the server-side stuff built that we're now going to put into the rest of my Lovebox Lambda component stuff. So what we're gonna need is to copy paste some of this stuff. Oh, okay, oh, nice. I forgot that you can make an S3 bucket here. Well, we made the S3 bucket manually, so we don't need to do it here. What we are gonna need is a new function that's gonna, let me see. So basically the way serverless uploads to S3 work is that you get a magic link that lets you upload things once. So we're gonna copy the code for getting that link, make a new Lambda for it that we can call from Next.js when we generate the page, and then we're gonna use that link for form submission, something like that. So let's go here, source we have, is it a query that we built? Let me see, all album, pre-signed upload URL. That's the thing that we need. So we're gonna generate a pre-signed URL that lets us upload stuff to my Lovebox Lambda. So I'm gonna make a new function here called pre-signed URL that's gonna be handled by this / Lovebox. No, let's make a new one. We're gonna make pre-signed URL dot get URL, and we're gonna say that this is called on HTTP. Crap, I always forget the syntax for this. Let's go look in the serverless handbook because I wrote this book so I don't have to remember stuff like this. We go check in the creating a REST API. This is gonna have stuff to crib off of. Where are you, serverless? There we go. So we say HTTP path is gonna be pre-signed URL. Let's keep it simple. Come on. And we're gonna say method is get, and we're gonna allow CORS just because allowing CORS is always a good idea. So we've got that. Then we make a new file. We say export async function. We called it get URL that we're gonna save into, come on computer. Okay, please let me know in the chat room if I'm dropping frames or if my computer is acting weird, because it feels kind of slow when I'm using it, but I'm not sure how it's working for you when you're watching the stream. So Lovebox Lambda source, oh crap, what did I say I was gonna call this? Pre-signed URL. So save, come on, source pre-signed URL.ts. So we have the function that's going to get us the URL. Now I'm going to copy pasta the code that generates it. So we've got that. We're going to create a UUID v4 for the image. Hey virtual, how are you doing today? What time is it where you are? Come on. CD, computer, what are you doing? Okay, let's see, what is my computer struggling with? The code, VS Code is using up a lot of CPU right there. Terminal is using 97%. What the hell? Terminal quit. Oh, that was that terminal. Okay, let's try that again. Terminal. Oh, Paris, nice. What's the situation like in Paris these days? We've been thinking of going to visit my girlfriend's family, and we're like, maybe not the best idea to travel to Paris. Okay, so Lovebox Lambda, come on, Lovebox Lambda, and we're gonna need to yarn add UUID, and we import UUID v4 from here. This is going to create the file names for our, no, that doesn't work. Could not find, yarn add at types / UUID. Okay, will that make it happy? No, how do I import UUID? Did this change? I think this did change recently. Let's see, UUID, published 4 months ago. How do I import? Import v4 as UUID. v4 as UUID v4 from UUID. So that's gonna give us a easy way to generate file names, because we don't really care about the file names themselves, so we can keep them as UUIDs. We're going to make a file name that's just, we can just keep it as image ID. But we should use, no, I don't think we don't need to know the file extension. We'll see if that works. We're gonna say the URL expires in 5 minutes. Then we're gonna get env s3 bucket. We said this is Lovebox stash because I have it hard coded, so I can't get it from the serverless configuration because I didn't create it there. I created it manually because I was going to manually upload files. Now we need to get S3. Where did I get S3? So import AWS from AWS SDK. There we go. So we can say, import S3 from, what did we do here? We used S3 from, perfect. So we can use this same thing. We import S3 from from the thing. And then we need to, let's see, what do I need to do next? Lovebox TS, how did we initialize it here? S3, what am I doing? How am I getting the files? Pictures TS, here we go. So we take this stuff, const S3 is new S3. I hope you don't mind that I'm copy pasting stuff around. I think it's easier than doing it manually. So we're gonna say S3 get signed URL for put object. We're going to take the bucket Lovebox stash. Content type is some sort of image, and we are expiring it in a certain amount of seconds. And we need to, do we need to return expires at? No, I don't think so. We're just going to return upload URL, read URL, and image ID. We are, however, gonna need to return this as an actual, let's do status code, and we're gonna say body is json.stringify, all of this stuff. Read you, upload URL. Wait, read URL? Oh, that's what I need to do. Like that. So that should be able to return a JSON body with all of the data that we need. So we've got that part. Now I need to make sure we give my Lambda the right permissions to do this stuff. So I'm gonna go into S3 bucket YAML, and let's see. Course configuration. Okay, we can deal with that later. Package JSON, serverless YAML. What are the roles that I need? AWS DynamoDB, S3 bucket. Oh, okay, so I set S3 bucket YAML here. Do we have IAM roles? Okay, we are going to need to go into serverless YAML here, where we are doing S3 get object. We're also gonna have to add S3 get signed URL put object. I'm gonna guess that this is called put object, and then we'll see what happens. Okay, so this should now work locally, and we're gonna try it with SLS invoke local minus function. We said it's called pre-signed URL, and we'll see if it spits out a URL or if it spits out the object that we need. So now we might need to do yarn build first. Yarn build, so that it actually shows up where it's supposed to be in the distribution folder. Come on, you got that. Ah, my hand is still feeling. For those of you who don't know, this hand was recently broken, or wrist, and I'm kind of getting used to using it again. So I still wear a brace a lot of the time. Cool. We got the upload URL. Awesome. So that worked. We're now going to try to deploy this. Git status, git add dot, git commit -a-m, create pre-signed URLs, and I'm going to yarn deploy this. And while it's deploying, I'm going to figure out how to actually start a new Next.js project, because I forgot the incantation for that. So Next.js, start new project, getting started. I don't know why I always forget these basic commands. Create next app. So we open this and we say, oh, you can't see my whole terminal. Now you can. So I'm gonna do this as a new project, and we're gonna say npx create next. Oh, we can just say yarn create next app, and we're gonna create a basic app. It does not exist. Okay. What if we say npx create next app? What is your project name? Lovebox uploader. Cool. So that's installing. I wonder if that started with TypeScript or without TypeScript. I guess we'll see. Cool. So we've got that. We can now go into the Lovebox uploader. Come on, Lovebox uploader. Git status up, git init. Say git commit -a-m. Next.js generate. We created the git add dot, git commit, just so we have a baseline. And now I'm going to run yarn dev, and we should get a basic Next.js app running locally. So if I go to localhost 3000, we have an app, don't we? Okay, so it's going to have to generate. It's generating, and now we have the basic Next.js app. Perfect. Now, this deployed. So while this deployed, I'm going to try to invoke the pre-signed URL function actually on production, so that I can see that it works there before I move on. So we're SLS invoking this thing. Let's see if it works. It did work. Nice. So we've got pre-signed URLs. Now we're going to build the actual UI part in Next.js. And I'm hoping that's going to be pretty easy. So we're going to open the Lovebox uploader. Lovebox uploader, and we're gonna go to the index.js page, and we're gonna keep this pretty simple. Instead of create next app, it's going to say Lovebox uploader, Lovebox stash. Sorry, how loud is the bird, by the way? Nope, not that emoji, this other emoji. Lovebox stash loader. Welcome to Next.js. Let's rename this to say Lovebox stash as well, with a heart emoji. Yay, Lovebox stash, awesome. Okay, Kiwi is really craving some attention right now, and I'm hoping that's not blowing out your ears. The microphone, the fancy microphone, is supposed to take care of that. Okay, so we're going to remove all of this stuff because we don't need it anymore. Yeah, so we don't need, actually, let's just write something here. Add cute photos to your Lovebox stash for the girl. Okay. Then styles grid. Do we need styles grid? Where does main start? Ah, there it starts. Okay, so we don't need div class name styles grid. Instead of that, we're going to add a form here. So I'm gonna go into my old project from the workshop in Spain and look at how we built it there. Pages, index.js, album. So create album button, no. Oh, and then on the album we have upload, don't we? Let me zoom this in so you can actually see it better. Update image list from source, image upload, there we go. That's what I was gonna look at. Add image to album, image upload is in components, image upload. We're gonna crib from this a little bit because it's been a while. So we're gonna, okay. Let's see. We're going to, how do we do this? We can load the actual pre-upload URL using, is it on page generate or something like that? And then it's going to be a form of some sort. Okay, let's start with getting the data. So I'm gonna look at not static file serving, routing, API routes. Is it on page? No. Server side props. Data fetching, get server side props. I always forget which one is get server side props. Next.js will pre-render this page on each request. That's the one we need. So we're gonna get server side props, export async function, get server side props. We don't need the context. And we're going to, I'm wondering if we should use React query for this, but I don't feel like setting that up. So we're gonna use a normal fetch request. So export async function, get server side props, and we're going to return, let's see, so props like that. And we should probably put this thing, put the URL for this in secrets. Let's hard code it at first. So the URL for pre-signed to get the pre-signed URL is this guy. Const URL equals blah. Move to secrets. So we're gonna have to move that to secrets before we deploy to production, or it's actually fine. So we're gonna move that to secrets. Then we say const res equals await fetch the URL, then res.json. So this is going to get us the actual pre-signed URL, and then we pass that to our props. And in our props, we're going to get what? We're going to get the upload URL, the read URL, and the image ID. So here, we're going to get the upload URL, and we're going to get the read URL and the image ID. Should I namespace those into their own object, or should I just splat them like that? Okay, we can deal with prettiness later. Now let's see if that part actually works. So I'm just gonna render the upload URL here. And now when we request the Lovebox stash, it should, there we go. That worked. Very nice. So what happened? Let me explain what's going on. So what's going on here is that when Next.js is generating this page, it's making an API request to my Lambda. That Lambda is generating a pre-signed URL that lets you upload files to an S3 bucket, returns that URL, and then Next.js pushes it as props into the actual page so that I can use it here without loading spinners or anything like that. It's already available by the time the page is generated. That does mean that you have slower time to first byte or time to first interactive and stuff like that, but it's better. But the end user experience, I think, ends up being better because the user isn't waiting for various spinners and stuff. I hope that made sense. If it didn't, please let me know. So we've got this part. We're getting the pre-signed URL. Now I gotta figure out how to actually use that. And I'm going to go here and reverse engineer some stuff. Ooh, use drop zone. That seems cool. Oh, use drop zone is cool. So we're gonna take this. This is I'm gonna show you what this is. React drop zone is a drag and drop React component that lets you upload files using a nice interface. Let's go to react-dropzone.js.org. And we're gonna add this thing. So we say yarn add react drop zone. We install that. And then under the hood, this lib makes use of hooks, therefore blah, blah, blah. Perfect. Oh, I should also zoom this in so you guys can see what I'm doing, what I'm reading. So we're gonna here say, should we call it my drop zone? What should we call this? I'm just gonna call it let's call it Lovebox drop. And we're gonna make a new component, file. Let's see, ls pages public styles. Let's make their components. And we're going to make a new file here that's going to import use callback from React and import use drop zone from React drop zone. We save this as the Lovebox drop zone. So pages components Lovebox drop zone dot let's just call it, let's just save it as JavaScript, not use, I don't know if my, hey Miha, I don't know if this is currently supporting TypeScript. So we call this the Lovebox drop zone and we export it. This needs to say React. Thank you. So use callback, accepted files, do something with the files. Let's console log the accepted files. Const get root props is drop zone on drop, div get root props, input get input props is drag drop your photos here. drag and drop photos here or click to select files. Awesome. So now we go back into index.js and we render Lovebox drop zone, which gets auto imported, and we're gonna see what we actually get. So yarn dev, and I'm going to go into my chats to get an example photo. Hey Fawad, how are you doing today? And we're gonna use this example photo because I really like the meme. Okay, come on, where are you? There we go, this one. Yep. Let's see, how do I save this? Open with preview. Bert, shut up. How do I save this? Command C, Command N. Save as example.fine. JPEG is fine. Okay, so we have the meme that we're gonna be sending, that we're gonna be trying to upload. And now we go back to the Lovebox stash, and let's see what shows up here. Drag and drop photos here or click to select files. So I should now be able to drop this here and see the console log that I wasn't looking at. Okay, so we get the file path, we get the name, last modified date, image JPEG, and the file size. Awesome. Now that we have that, we can see how to actually upload this. Use S3 upload on drop pending image. Aha. Okay, that seems useful. We go back into the Lovebox stash. Lovebox drop zone. Wait, let's see. Use callback, accepted files. It would be interesting if we could... Okay, no, we don't have to deal with that. So let's see. We're going to upload this thing. Disable type of blah, blah, blah. So I think I just need to make a put request to the pre-signed URL. New request. What the hell was I doing here? Await fetch new request. Okay, I don't know what I was doing there, but we're gonna go here and in use callback, we're gonna say upload file, accepted files, and pre-signed URL. So here we're gonna get the pre-signed URL as part of my drop zone. Styles, class name, styles description. We're gonna say pre-signed URL equals the pre-signed URL. So we're passing in the pre-signed URL that we get from AWS. We pass it into the component, and then the component is going to use it to actually upload the thing. So the Lovebox drop zone is going to upload the file here. Let's call this an async function upload file that gets what? The accepted files. Oh, it's an actual file. Cool. Where are we? Aha. We might need to request the pre-signed URL multiple times. Oh, it's called an upload URL. Upload URL. It might not make sense to get this in, well, we can deal with that later. So we called it the upload URL, accepted files, and upload URL. So this is now going to support only one file upload at a time because we only have one pre-signed URL. So we're gonna say const file equals accepted files 0. And then we're gonna go here and we're gonna make a fetch request. So then we say, hey Julian, how are you doing today? Const res is await fetch of the upload URL with method put. So we're putting the file where we get the body of. How do we get the body of the file? Let's look at React drop zone. On drop accepted files, console log accepted files. Oh, nice. What kind of work is piling up, Julian? For each file, new file reader, do whatever you want with the file contents. Aha. So we need to create a file reader with the file. The file reader API, drop zone props getters, refs. Okay, so we need to first figure out how to actually read the file. Okay, so let's see. That's the file. Const reader equals new file reader, and we reader dot read as binary string, as data URL, as text. What do we need for the fetch API? That's my question. What do you guys think we need? We can do it. We can try array buffer, right? Might work. Reader dot read as. Let's do it as a binary string. That seems pretty useful. So then we say reader dot on load. Actually, let me check if this has an async await API. File reader API, file reader web APIs. I'm hoping that this has an async await API that we can use. Ooh. Outline polygons are actually a really complicated problem, Julian. I don't envy you trying to figure that out. Okay, read as data URL. Does this return a promise, and why not? Of course it doesn't. Because why would it return a promise? Events, abort, load, specifications, async, await, no, promise, new. Let's see, file reader API promise. Does that work? Using promises with file reader. Nice. Please. API. Yes. Which means we have to do it manually. Okay, then we do it manually. So I'm going to go back to this doc and we're going to say async function read file, and we're going to return a new promise that gets resolve and reject, and it's going to say const reader is a new file reader, and it's going to read it as a binary string. And then here we're going to say reader.onAbort equals, and it's going to reject my promise. Reader.onError, it's also going to reject my promise. And reader.onLoad, is going to resolve the promise with reader.result. Okay, so that should work. We now have an async await compatible API for reading the file. So we say const data equals await read file, and then we go here and we're going to actually upload it. We're going to put the body, let's see, where was I? Okay, we're going to put the body with data, and then the headers are going to be content type image slash asterisk, and then we're gonna see what we get. We say if res dot okay, let's just console log console log. Okay, let's do this. Const and let's console log the response. Console log await res.json because I think it's gonna be a JSON response. Else we're going to console log an error. Console log res and say console log error. Okay. Now we're gonna try and see if this works. So we're in the Lovebox stash. I'm gonna reload this just to make sure. And then we get a file and drop it here. So what's gonna happen now is it's supposed to read the file as a binary blob and try to upload it to S3 using the pre-signed URL. And it failed to fetch. Nice. Access to fetch, course policy, response to pre-flight request didn't pass access control checks. Sweet. So what happened was a course error. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Okay, so how did we solve course errors before? Let's see. How do we tell the pre-signed upload URL that course is okay? I think that's the part I'm missing. So if we go here and look at let's look at where we're generating the actual URL. It was a query. It gets the pre-signed URL, key process. Okay, so we have all of that, don't we? Let's try reopen. Let me open a new VS Code window. Oh, also, how long have I been streaming? Okay, it's fine. We're gonna go up to maybe an hour. Command O. Go to random coding, Lovebox Lambda. Come on. Open. We have the pre-signed URL. So we're creating it on the right bucket. We're creating it with the right file name, content type, image, and expires in a number of seconds. So that's fine. What am I missing though? When I was doing this 2 years ago, I had this course configuration configured. Aha. I think that's what I'm missing. So we're gonna have to go into AWS because I created this S3 bucket manually, not via serverless. We're gonna have to manually add the course policy as well. Now, where the hell do I add the course policy? Wow, my computer is not doing so hot right now. Quit you as well. So let's see, Lambda S3. And let's try to find it. I'm gonna actually try to crib it from the old solution, from the old code. So we have here shared photos bucket. This one is public. And we go to Lovebox stash. And we're gonna go find properties permissions. Is it properties? Bucket versioning, tags, default encryption. Let me zoom this in a little bit. Permissions could have course. Object ownership, access control, cross origin. There we go. So we're gonna add this stuff to my cross origin here where we go to permissions. Oh, I have a bunch of things already here. Block all public access, bucket policy, access control, cross origin. We're gonna paste in what we had before, allowed headers, allowed methods. We're going to not allow deleting, and we're gonna allow only certain origins because, you know, I don't want anyone to upload files to my girlfriend's thingy. Okay, so we've got that. Now let's try this again. We're gonna reload the page to get a new upload URL. Go down here. God damn it. Try to upload the example again, and now I'm hoping the course policy is gonna let us through, but it didn't. Put failed has been blocked by course response to from origin localhost 3000. What if we try to, did I actually write this? Edit, let's try making asterisk all origins allowed. Oh, and also I think I need to tell fetch to actually use course. Or actually, I think course is enabled by default. Let's try that again. So this is going to be a bit of trial and error because I don't know what's wrong. Example, paste it here. Aha, that actually worked. So now we can go here and let's see what the response was. Preview headers, request payload, preview, and the response. This request has no response data available. What's the response code? Status code 200. Okay. Okay, so it doesn't return a JSON. No, Siri, I'm not talking to you. Go away. Okay. Let's see. What do we have to? I think we have to say something to get a JSON response. S3 pre-signed URL JSON response. Get JSON response using AWS pre-signed URL. It's gonna be, there is no way to do this. S3 only returns XML, has response parsing. Okay, so it only returns XML, which means we can do response.xml. And while we're here, we can also verify that the file actually got uploaded. Reload. Did the file show up? Haha! The file did show up. Let's see if it also showed up correctly. Access denied. Okay. Cool. Cool. Why is access denied though? Did I upload the others as public, or is the access also going to be denied? Oh, okay, access is denied on everything. It's actually a good thing, but I do want to see the file. So how do I get the file? Oh, I guess I can download it. Object action, open, download. So we're gonna try to download it to my desktop and just verify that it actually shows up as what we want it to show up. If I open this, no, what if we, so it has a couple more kilobytes. It was a JPEG. What if we add a JPEG file name? Will that let it open? No. Okay. So we're gonna try to open it in VS Code just to see what is actually in this file. An error occurred while open file using VS Code standard. The file is not displayed. Okay, let's try just opening it in Vim. Vim opens everything. So cd desktop Vim 93e blah. Now it seems to have a bunch of data. Let's try, instead of, let's try, we have to delete this object before it breaks things. Where is the delete? Does anyone know how to delete stuff in S3? If I go here, click delete, yes, permanently delete. Okay, and I'm just gonna check if anyone is still watching, because the chat room is pretty quiet right now. Nice, there's people around. Okay, so we're actually making really good progress. I know it looks rough right now, but we got a file to upload. We just need to figure out how to get the correct, hey, Code with Dinesh. We just need to figure out how to get the right format. Let's see. Content type, body data, read as binary string. What if we try read as data URL, read as array buffer? Let's try read as array buffer. We'll see if that works. So I'm just gonna restart this just to be sure. We go here, and this is gonna be a relatively slow process because the debug cycle right now is not great. So we have the example function. Let's, just in case, let's give it a URL. We upload this, or I mean a file extension. res.xml is not a function. Okay, let's just print the response, see what it is. Or let's do res.text. That's always a function. Okay, so fetch doesn't natively parse XML, which is frustrating. Then we go here in the Lovebox stash, close. We have the new file. It doesn't have a type. Oh, because the type is guessed from things, but we have a better file size. It's 68 kilobytes instead of 100. So let's try downloading this guy. Download. Okay. So it should be downloaded here. And if we open this, this is now D4. Looks about the same. What if we move D4 to D4.jpg? Aha! Come on. Oh, wrong file, wrong key. Cool. So that's working, and that's awesome. Now we have a working, oh, I can make myself bigger for this. So we have a working file upload. Now we used Next.js to get the URL on page load. Now, if we want to upload multiple files, we need to actually get that URL on demand. Yes, and I don't think I need to add an extension to the file, because if you look at my, let's see, do we need to add an extension to the file? The extension would make it easier, but the extension here, I don't think we need the extension, because when we are reading it, we are getting the content type from metadata. I don't think we're getting it from the actual extension, because somewhere in there it says image JPEG. But you're right, we should probably do things. So yeah, here's what we have to do. We have to request the pre-signed URL on demand when we're processing each file, which then means that we don't need to get server-side props. So, wow. The bird is fucking loud downstairs. So here's what we're gonna change. We're gonna change the pre-signed URL function, Lambda function, to get a query param of the file type, or of the content type. So let's see, get URL is going to, actually, let's go here. So I know that I have here, there we go, path params, no query params. I know that we are looking at query params. Okay, let's go with path params, and we're gonna do it this way. So get URL gets an event called that has API gateway event, and we're gonna get a query params from there. So image ID, and then we can also actually store the file name. We don't, or should we use image? Should we use UUIDs? Yeah, let's use UUIDs. So we say const file type equals event dot query string parameters dot, if that exists, then we get dot file type. So we're gonna call it file type. File type is gonna go here, and we say if file type starts with image, if we don't have a file type, or it doesn't start with image, we're going to return an error. Return status code 400 body JSON.stringify. This is just so we always return JSON. Error, please upload an image. Like that. Oh, we need to close the JSON stringify. So this is going to return an error. And then here we're gonna, file name is going to then have dot slash file type split by slash, and we take the second one. Actually, let's just call it extension. Extension, come on, extension. And we say const extension equals file type split by slash, and we take the second part. So we get the extension from the file type, image/png becomes png. For example, like that. This, and then content type is going to be a file, the file type. Okay, so now we gotta test that this part actually works, and I think it will. So I'm gonna actually let's just deploy this, because I'm pretty sure it's gonna work. Yarn deploy, and then here when we are processing the files, we're going to actually use a fetch request to my Lambda to get the pre-signed URL with the correct file type. So we're gonna remove get server side props, and we're not gonna need those here anymore. Then we go to the Lovebox drop zone, and we say I'm gonna make async function get pre-signed upload URL for the file, like that, and we return pre-signed URL. So this should now actually make a request to the thing. Take this part here. So we're getting the pre-signed URL, we're reading the file, and then when we upload the files, here we're going to const pre-signed URL equals, actually, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do these things in parallel. Pre-signed URL and data come from await promise.all of we say get pre-signed upload URL from the file and read file. We can totally do those two in parallel. And we're gonna go with, actually we can do upload URL, send that up there, pre-signed URL, await fetch URL, and we're gonna have to actually add the file type. So we're gonna say /file type or question mark file type equals file dot what did our file return? So how do I, oh, do I still have it in my history? See, I do not have it in my history. God damn it. Does anyone remember where React drop zone gives us, because I'm not using TypeScript here, so this part is confusing. The file will have, actually, let's just console log it and test real quick. Console log file. Oh, come on. What did I do? Like that. And now I'm going to test this real quick just to see what the actual file is that we get. Upload URL has already been declared because, yeah, we don't get this anymore. Come on, scroll down. We don't get the upload URL as a prop. We do get accepted files. Okay. Yep. So now I'm gonna try to drop this here. Okay, we get the file with .type. Perfect. Which means here, return pre-signed URL, command / file dot, we said, it was called type. So we are now uploading this with, we're creating an upload URL with the file type on demand when we're actually using it. And we'll see if this works. So I'm gonna, let's just delete the previous file just so that we keep things clean. Delete, permanently delete. Oh, I have to click delete objects. All right. Now we go back to the Lovebox stash. We're no longer using get server side props. And then we take example JPEG, failed to fetch, access control, allow origin, blah. Aha, I know what's going on. So we did make the request correctly. However, the Lambda that we built to get pre-signed URLs is not returning course headers. So we're gonna go return those. Let's see. Do I have that anywhere here? Course. Come on, do I not have an example of returning the headers? Let's go look at GitHub, see the full code on GitHub. Let's see. Please say that this is returning stuff. Types DS, manage items, function response. Nope, it's not returning course headers. That part is annoying. So let's see, what are the course headers we have to return? Because I always forget that part. Where have I done this? Yeah, Martin, you're right. It's course, but I need to, screenshot Lambda is doing it. So no, screenshot as a service. Come on. Screenshot. So GitHub has a weird bug where if you search for something, you then cannot click back and search for things again. So screenshot as a service, this is returning. Oh wait, no, this is different. See, like I just, now whenever I click on this, screenshot Lambda, Lambda. I know Lambda screenshot is a service. There we go. So I'm gonna zoom this back in a little bit because I know that I have that built here, so I can just copy paste it. I think it's this. Response. It's gonna be in util. So response gets these headers. And we put headers here. Now I'm gonna upload this, yarn deploy. And while that's deploying, we can go back into the Next.js code. And here where we're uploading files, we're going to upload all files just so we can do things, just so we can upload multiple files. So we're gonna say, let's do it like this. Use callback accepted files. Can this be an async callback? I'm not sure. I think it can actually. Doesn't have to be. We're gonna say promise.all accepted files.map upload a particular file. So this is now going to upload multiple files all in parallel, which is where Lambda really shines because it lets you do things like make a bunch of requests in parallel. So now we're gonna wait for the deploy to go through, and I'm hoping we're gonna get CORS working. So let's see, Lovebox stash. I'm gonna try start with one photo. Okay. We got a forbidden put. Interesting. Let's see, network. If we look at here, pre-signed URL, file type image, we got file type image JPEG, and okay, that worked. What was the response? Upload was the upload URL with a bunch of stuff, and then the read URL has the thing and the image ID. Okay, so did it actually upload? That's the question. Let's go back to my S3, and I don't think it did upload. We do not have a file here. So what went wrong? I think here, aha. Where we said the content type is now file type, we made it so that we can't upload image /*. We have to upload with the specific content type. So here we're gonna do file.type again, and I think that's gonna work. File type has to match pre-signed URL type. Okay, we're gonna try that again, and it might work. So I'm reloading the page every time just to be sure, but I don't think you actually have to. So we do this, and it uploaded. Sweet. So now if we go here and reload, we should see the file. It's recognized as a JPEG, and if we download it, it's going to immediately be something we can view. So it's a JPEG image. Got that. And now, haha, sweet. Okay, that worked. Now while we're there, actually let me just commit this, git status, git commit -m, pre-signed URLs with specific type, git push origin Lovebox, git push origin main, and then for Next.js we're gonna commit git commit -m, and we say uploading images to S3. And now let's just git add dot, git commit -a -amend. Cool. And now, so we got that part. Now we can just add a little, let's add a little UI flourish so that we actually know that stuff is being uploaded. So we're gonna put this in the uploading mode. So we say const uploading set uploading equals, and we're gonna keep it simple with just state false, right? Come on, why didn't you auto import? So we're doing that. And then here, input get input props is drag active, drop your photos here. Say if uploading, we're going to return a Miha, yes, I think it's okay that the file name is a UUID because the Lambda that's consuming this is just getting a list of objects from S3 and sending them onwards. It doesn't actually care about file names. And for me personally, I don't care about the images being unique or deduped or anything like that. I just want to have an easy way of uploading them. Let's see. So we have this. If uploading return, let's see. Do we have a spinner? React spinner. We're gonna show a spinner. I know that this is a thing that exists. React spinners, perfect. So we say yarn add React spinners. And then we're going to, where do we get a list of spinners? Beat, bounce, Pac-Man, scale, sync, rise, ring, pulse. Can I see them somewhere? Maybe on the home page. Okay, my computer is starting to not actually load stuff anymore. There we go. So yarn dev. Let's see, what is a nice loader? Climbing box, that's cool. Circle loader, fade, moon, hash, grid, ring. Is there anything that has hearts? Nothing has hearts. So I'm gonna use the grid loader because I think it looks cool. Return grid loader. Okay, so that should be running while it's uploading. And then here, let's see if we can do an async callback. We're gonna say set uploading to true. Then we await this stuff and we set uploading to false. There's no error detection. We don't really care about errors. This is a very simple file uploader. Now let's try that again. And I'm gonna delete all of these pictures after we're done streaming. And then I'm gonna upload them for real. Actually, no. So we upload the example. Grid loader did not auto import. Why is auto import not working? Great. So how do we import this stuff? To import grid loader from that. Import grid loader from React spinners / grid loader. Okay, will that work? Now let's try that again. No, not localhost 8000, localhost 3000. Upload the thing. So it's running and it uploaded. Perfect. Yeah, I think that's it. Let's try uploading a bunch of files. So I'm gonna take, what is this one? Cool. So I'm gonna take these three and see what happens if I upload them. It seems to be working. Nice. So that uploaded things to my Lovebox stash. Let's see, Lovebox stash. Cool. We've got all the images here. Now I'm gonna delete them to clean up. And that's gonna be it for today, guys. So on that magnificent success, we're gonna finish this live coding session. We got images to upload to S3 using a pre-signed URL that we are fetching on demand from an AWS Lambda. We didn't really leverage a lot of Next.js stuff because it didn't end up being that useful, because we need to get the URL every time for every new image. I'm going to write a short write-up, send it to my email newsletter. I would post it on my blog, but I'm still trying to figure out how to get my deploys to work again because I'm weird things with Gatsby Cloud. So if you're subscribed to my newsletter, you're going to get a write-up on how this works and what we built in maybe in an hour or so. And thanks everyone for watching. I will see you on the internets.